All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, world. November 21st. This is our conversation for the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We are on site. We are on location. So wow, like it's crazy, Jamal. Like what a week it has been, man.
Man,
Uh, James Harden declining the 2-year, $103 million option. Listen to that, world. 2-year, 103 million. That mean that brother was going to get paid $51.5 million. But then again, right, he's 32, and I guess he's trying to, get that ring. Klay Thompson working out on his own, and sadly enough, tearing his Achilles, and again requiring season-ending surgery. Um, Theo Epstein, the championship architect for the Chicago Cubs, our Chicago Cubs, now stepping down onto a tremendous uptick in COVID-19 cases around the country, especially here in Illinois and throughout the Midwest. By the way, special shout outs to my Uncle Bobby, who is now recovering from open heart surgery, as well as Jeremiah, Morgan Park Mustang Zone, um, in their battles with COVID-19, and both having had tremendous recoveries from really life threatening moments during this week and last week, and for Jeremiah last week, for Uncle Bobby this week, and then just recovering from this life threatening illness. Everyone out there stay safe. But again, introducing this morning the guru, although again, I'm sure he would not label himself as the guru for a record third month in a row, Jamar. Jamar Goodman, what's good, man? What's going on?
what's going on, my brother? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. And for those who do not know me, I am Mr. Brandon Price. And so, as an FYI, the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook Live on either our pages, Instagram Live, Apple Podcasts, amongst others. And literally, it can be found off that name, the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. We thank you all for tuning in, and we look forward to giving you all a great show today. We will have a possible guest joining us this morning. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So let's start out with news out of Houston, Texas. It is well well known that Russell Westbrook and James Harden both want out of the Rocket organization. And so as a result, Russell Westbrook, he has been put on a trade block in negotiations with the Knicks, the Clippers of all places. James Harden, he declined a $51.5 million a year option, and has made it clear that he would like to join forces with KD and Kyrie up in Brooklyn. And so let's just play Jamar here, what ifs. So it seems right now that the organization is going to give him a hard time, possibly, in letting this, happen or go through, because of just like, it's like a marriage, right? Or it's like a marriage. It's like you put in all that work, and in that marriage, you make all the adjustments, you know what I'm saying, Jamar, to make things work. And basically, it gets to a certain point to where one party is fed up. And if that party's fed up, then it's like you do what you can to make those adjustments. But in this case, this is a sad affair because they did it like all they can, but they pretty much just can't get to that, that next level. And so right now we got a fed up James Harden. And so he now want to go title chasing. He want to go ring chasing. He's going ring chasing at 32 years old, which I guess makes sense. But I'm just curious, man, because I don't know, man. A lot of people like this move, but it takes some wisdom to kind of see through the lines. Do you think this will work in Brooklyn? And does this now put the Nets as the title favorite if James Harden were to go to the Brooklyn Nets?
I don't know if it works in Brooklyn, but talent wise, we know that they would automatically be a title contender off bat. Probably favorites in the Eastern Conference just based on their talent alone. But as far as them meshing together, I don't know, because that would mean James Harden will have to change his style of play for sure. Because you
Mm-hmm.
got two other you got one alpha personality and one like unguardable force on that team.
Mm-hmm.
So and too sensitive basketball
Yeah.
players.
I think James Harden's a part of that group too.
As far as sensitivity,
Yep, low key, yep. That's
you
why they all
probably
want to join together.
you're probably right.
For real. Yep.
But if they can, it's honestly it's up to them if they want to make it work. If he was to go over there, if they, they can treat it like USA basketball, where everybody just do their like not do their own thing, but play within each other and play as a team type thing. Then it can get very very dangerous, especially playoff time, because as we know, at the end of the day, talent usually trumps anything else in a playoff series. But I commend him for I guess turning that down, because I guess he don't want to turn to another Carmelo Anthony case.
I guess so, right?
Yeah,
I mean, man, 51.5 million.
I
Man,
know.
bro. I mean, geez, like that's hard to turn down.
Probably, but also at the same time, and he's making that money up 10 times on the endorsement
Mm-hmm.
side. So it's like to him, like it's whatever. I guess he is focused on I guess more of a winning situation. I mean, I give the Rockets credit. They did try a lot of number of things to make this work, and they missed their window, I say 2 and 3 years ago, when it
Mm-hmm.
was a game away from getting to the uh, NBA Finals. Because I
Right.
felt like the last year that LeBron was in Cleveland. What year was that? 17,
Yeah.
18. One of them.
18 his last year,
Eight,
yeah.
yeah, 18. So I feel like whoever won that Western Conference Finals between them and the Warriors was probably going to be NBA champs that year. That's how I felt.
Definitely. He
So
was
yeah,
close that year. He was close.
very close. And I kind of it took a historical bad performance behind the arc for them to lose that game.
Yep. And they still only lost by 8 points.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I just know at the end of the day, if he was to go to Brooklyn, they will have to put their egos aside and come together and make it work. If they play the same style of play that they're doing now, especially with James Harden doing the ISO thing, I don't think it's going to work. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, talent trumps a lot of things in the playoffs, so we'll see.
Right. Yeah. And Jones was good, my brother.
What's good? How you guys doing this morning?
Good. What's going on, man?
Pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Yes,
Pleasure for y'all
sir.
having me
Thank you.
on, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us, man. We was just, talking about this James Harden situation. And so we was just, stating like the what if scenarios. And so, yeah, man, I know you just joined it, but just want your input on this as well. So does this make the Nets like a title favorite? Will this work in Brooklyn? Just with them having it would be three ball dominant individuals with three alpha personalities. Just curious, and like, will this work, man? Do you think it'll work?
Me personally, I don't think so. Just because, like you said, they're three ball dominant players. I mean, it could, but it would take somebody would have to make that sacrifice.
Right.
Sort of like the Miami Heat situation. Like Chris Bosh, he made that sacrifice. So,
Right.
I don't know. Then it would be kind of weird. You got James Harden. He's typically he's like in a body of a one guard, but typically plays like a two.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Kyrie. He plays like a two, but he's about 6'3", 6'4". So I mean, I don't know how that would work. It will almost be like the situation with him and Russ again, almost.
That's a good analogy.
With Durant. So
Mm-hmm.
I know Durant probably can adapt, but I mean Durant's gonna need the ball regardless of who he plays with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
But he
know. It would
seemed
be
like, right,
tough.
he's the one out of all three of those, he seems like he's the one that can adapt the easiest.
Yeah. Just I don't know how those other two would adapt because they like to dribble. A lot of dribble. They do a lot of dribbling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they would move without the ball. I know Durant, he can move without the ball. He can dribble. He can ISO. He can play all five positions if you need him to. Those other two, I don't know. I don't see it working. It would surprise me if it worked. I just don't see it working.
Right, right. And for me, man, you know, I think, fellas, it could work, right? It could work to a certain extent, but my biggest worry with it working is just the ball dominancy, the alpha male attitudes.
Right.
After a while, Kyrie gonna start pitching. No, KD gonna get frustrated. It'll work for him because, of course, he knows what it takes now to get that championship. Kyrie do too, but I still even quite. He made that shot, but his immaturity level is just a major issue. It's a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong. Like, these guys are very, very talented, but I think, y'all, if KD made the sacrifice, and maybe they found a way to possibly include they big man, which would be Jared Allen, a little bit more. And I know it sounds crazy to have him kind of hit KD on those passes, kind of, get some really good ball movement. They can be extremely dangerous. We all know. So it could work. It could work. It could very well work. And if it works, watch out, Lakers. Watch out, Clippers, Heat, Celtics, everybody. But I don't know, man. It could very well not work too. So I guess I'll bet that it would work, but we will see. We will see. It's a very, very sticky situation. Yeah, I mean, it says a lot, y'all. That man turned down $51.5 million.
That's a lot. 50 million.
That's a lot of money, dog. Man, that is.
But like I was telling somebody the other day, I mean, he's rich already. I mean, he's gonna make that off endorsements and everything else. So, I mean, him turning down 50 million from our standpoint, I'd be like, man, you crazy. But from looking at his standpoint, it's just like, he'll make that. He gonna make that regardless.
You're right. And then also, if he was to take that, he would give up his leverage.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he's stuck.
Right. And so, yeah, man, it's like a lot of different like what if scenarios with this, but he's very talented. They very talented, some of the more talented offensive players ever. And so could very well work, y'all, just off of talent. And we know if you got talent in the NBA, that's one sport where you can get that ring because of the talent. So yeah,
for sure.
All right, fellas. We've talked about that. So just curious, like, it kind of reminds me of the situation with KD when he returned to OKC. I'm not stating that this would be a moment like that, but I'm just stating like it just reminds me of that reaction. I'm not saying that this would be the scenario, but guys, I want to share something this morning. Okay, so bear with me, and please don't laugh. But I just it reminds me of this moment. And so hopefully things work out in a good way to where if James Harden returns to Houston, because they're going to be pissed off, y'all. We putting that out there in the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. They're going to be really pissed if he leaves. And so
for sure.
Yeah, just reminds me of this moment. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look, fellas.
Kevin Durant made his return to Oklahoma City for the first time, and he got booed. He got booed so bad, I'm going to let you hear some of these boos. Every time he touched the ball, he got booed. That's some murder.
Starting at forward, 6'9" from Texas, number 35, Kevin Durant.
Now you know what that arena was like. Booing for Durant, cheering for Westbrook. And he had an amazing game against the Warriors. What a pass to Steven Adams. Westbrook finished with 47 points, and he was 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double. Chef Curry from way downtown. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson combined for 86 points in this one. Livingston repaying him for playing defense. That's what you got to do. If somebody plays defense and they run the floor, you got to let them score. You know the rules. Another steal from Livingston. Green is going to push it. And he finds Klay Thompson in the corner. You already know. Check out Westbrook on this play. He's going to take a shot at Kevin Durant. And they got into it. Westbrook got into it with a lot of Warriors in this game. The emotions were flying high. Adams misses that floater. And then Kevin Durant is going to take it coast to coast. He goes by Russell Westbrook. And then he's going to bully Roberson to throw it up and in. Maybe that should have been an and one. Roberson misses the three. And the Thunder once again are lazy on the break. Durant throws it down. The crowd is not happy after that first half. And in the second half, they're still down big, but Westbrook goes up against Durant, throws up the floater off the glass, avoiding the block, and they start talking trash. Durant is guarding him again, but he sags off. If you sag off, your swag's off. You know the rules. They're exchanging words in between the timeout. They're both going back and forth. I wish we knew what they were saying. Can anybody lip read what Russell Westbrook said? Durant gets fouled, and then he gets into it with another former teammate. He's headbutting. Look at this. Westbrook steps in between. The refs step in between. They're still talking trash. Oh, my goodness. This isn't even a playoff matchup yet. And it wasn't even that hard of a foul. They were just jumping straight up. But, hey, what is that? You gotta love basketball this season to end the third quarter. Westbrook crossover on Iggy, and then the throwdown, making the Oklahoma City fans get up off their feet, but they're still down big. There's nothing they can do. Too little, too late. But these fans are showing so much love to the Thunder, to Westbrook, and look at Durant. He continues to throw down dunks in the fourth quarter. He wants to score more points. He wants to just let it go from way downtown. Why not? Nothing but net against his former team, the Warriors. Easily take this game. Matt Barnes, you ain't Iverson, baby.
All right, fellas.
This man said, if you sag off, your swag's off.
I wanted to put that out there because I wanted to put that out there, fellas, because of the fact that it'll be Russell Westbrook, who probably would be in Houston still. Let's just say, for instance, hypothetically, he's still in Houston. He's going to be very ticked off. And they return Brooklyn to Houston with James Harden. Okay, and then both of these guys not being his former teammates. It would just be so classic to watch. And so, yeah, I will find that just so entertaining, so funny, man. So, I watch out for that because it could very well be the case.
That'd be terrible.
Very well be the case.
Yeah.
It'd be a fist fight.
It'll be something like that. So yeah. With that, and speaking of a fist fight, it was almost a fist fight with Gucci Man versus Young Jeezy this week. I promise you, look like Young Jeezy was ready to jump on the other side of the stage, but he like, hey, I got Jeannie Mae now, so I don't even gotta engage into that no more. You know, like I'm good. I'm super good, so I ain't even got to jump on the other side of the stage no more. You know, but Gucci Man, he brought all his goons out with him. He was ready. He was ready for the moment. He was definitely ready for the moment. But Young Jeezy, man, he played it like a gangster, man. He played it like an OG. Gucci, man, you could tell he still got a lot of immaturity, and so but it was entertaining, man. It was like Ian Jones said, it was like a modern day Pac and Biggie. And at least for the verses, man, it was entertaining for sure. Remind me of my college days, y'all.
Yeah, it definitely took you back to them high school and college days. It definitely
for real. Don't it remind you, Jamal, those parties, man? Remember those parties? Like Gucci be playing all day.
Man, I definitely had a moment when that was
going on. You, man. I'm telling you.
Some good times, man.
It was. All right, fellas, let's get back to the sports, man. We got a lot to cover, y'all know. So yeah, we got a lot of good acquisitions, y'all. Chris Paul to the Suns, Drew Holiday to the Bucks, Steven Adams to the Pelicans, many other trades. like your thoughts, man. Like, just hit on one of these, for instance. What was like the biggest or most impactful trade for you out of all these trades? This can include Dwight Howard. This can include. I know you heard this morning, Montrezl Harrell to the Lakers. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of good trades out there. So, which one, man, you feel like is, like one of the more impactful that's going to automatically have an impact on their team?
I probably would say the Lakers move, especially Montrezl Harrell signing. That surprised me a lot. That
You
surprised
see
me a
his
lot.
deal, man, 2 year, 19 million. That's it.
That's the mid-level.
Yeah, that
You talking
surprised
about
me
a
a lot.
steal?
Yeah, and then they got if I'm not mistaken, they have Wesley Matthews,
Yep.
Dennis Schroeder,
Mm-hmm.
and then they got
Oh,
Montrezl
the
Harrell.
Lakers got Wesley Matthews too now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Got him yesterday.
Oh man, okay, they loading up.
Yeah, so I mean I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get younger, So I get it.
Right.
I understand they're trying to get younger. The West is getting back thick again. The Dwight Howard situation it kind of threw me for a loop yesterday because I seen that he signed he signed with
Yeah.
the Sixers, and then maybe like 10 minutes after that, I seen that he said he was staying in LA. So I was like, wait, so what's really going on? So I guess
Really?
So I
Yeah.
guess he
So
tweeted. Guess he tweeted out that he was staying in LA maybe an hour before that, and I guess Philly called with that bag, and money talks, and I mean
Wow.
the rest.
yeah, that's exactly what happened. He was basically told that they was gonna have a deal, and he tweeted out that he's gonna return. And then actually they was like, nah, we haven't actually gave you an offer yet. An hour went by, nothing's changed. Philly kept pursuing them between Doc and Embiid, and there you have it.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is why I got you guys on this podcast, because I had no freaking idea none of this. I knew
Yeah.
that he signed to the Sixers, but I didn't hear all this other stuff.
Yeah. So the tweet, that tweet like inadvertently like made him depart from the Lakers. Had that not happened, you probably wouldn't even see Harold in a Lakers uniform.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Dwight Howard kind of being immature yet again.
Well, in a sense, it was definitely just a lot of miscommunication, I think, between agents and the Lakers. So, but yeah, his boneheaded move had all this, to happen. So,
Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is news for me. Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like though it's a good situation. He's definitely one of the more respectable big men in his generation, and
For
so, seemed like he'd be a Hall of Fame. I think he should. And so,
Yeah, without a doubt.
Going to the Sixers situation, y'all, and going to the East, being a backup to Joel Embiid, pushing him, making him become hopefully less soft and less of a diva. That could definitely have an impact. But I think, y'all, for me, the big impact, y'all, is Chris Paul going to play with Devin Booker. I think this now pushed Phoenix somewhere between the 6th, 7th seed in the West. Just from the fact that they got a lot of talent there. It does hurt to see Kelly Oubre possibly being traded to the Warriors. I thought he'll be a decent fit with Phoenix, but then again they still got their core, DeAndre Ayton. They got this other kid that can shoot the ball. Great head coach, Imani Williams. So I want to put it out there, world. Watch Phoenix. They look like they're gonna be legit.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Jamal, you got any moves? Any big moves?
Man, I kid you not. I felt like a kid on Christmas morning yesterday. I really did. Like, with all these transactions, and then previously before that, I'm like, this is what I'm talking about.
A lot of goals, man.
Man, so I personally, I feel like Los Angeles is the front runner for winning this free agency offseason thus far. Definitely the Chris Paul was a huge impact.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more so for Devin Booker than anybody, maybe him staying there. I guess I'm gonna go with one that you all haven't mentioned.
Right.
Probably Drew Holiday to
I
Milwaukee.
knew you was gonna mention that. Been around too long.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I was going to mention the LA one, but
No, we
that's not-
gotta mention Drew Holiday to the Bucks because you
For
did
sure.
pick the Bucks to win the East last year. Remember?
Yes, I did. I did. I took
Right.
that L. That was
Yeah.
me. All right.
Mhm.
Well, because I know Giannis wanted Chris Paul, and then when Chris Paul ended up in Phoenix, I know I went on Facebook and said this is about to be Giannis' farewell tour this year.
Mhm.
But you know, Drew Holiday, I feel like that any type of consolation prize, that's probably the best that you're gonna have right now. I mean, he's definitely a head and shoulders above upgrade from Eric Bledsoe right now. Two-way player that can still give you 20 plus, and he's a lot better player in the playoffs than he is in the regular season. So you get that. You know, at this point, I feel like the Milwaukee front office trying to do everything in their power to make moves and make this roster better and give Giannis like one more real chance to try to win a championship before he may ultimately leave. So they're trying their hardest right now. So
Mhm.
I feel like they
Talking
are
about that
better.
marriage thing we was talking about earlier, that's a perfect example. Giannis and that front office, they did everything, or they're doing
Yeah,
everything they can.
yeah. And it's like, what is it? The deadline for the extension is the 21st of December. So if he doesn't sign, I mean, you basically, you know, playing with fire at that point, because you might just, you know, lose him for nothing.
Right.
So
Yeah. So interesting, man. Very, very interesting. So we'll see how things go with that. All right, fellas. We've covered that situation. Very good analysis. We'll see how those trades turn out. All right, fellas. Let's talk about the 2020 NBA draft. And so the Chicago Bulls, they hit a surprise for me for sure, by selecting Patrick Williams out of Florida State for their first round pick. So just curious, Jamar first in, you can go next. Do you like or not like this pick? And like, is this the right pick for the future of the team?
so after that, you know, we failed to get a top 3 pick or move the pick in general. At that point, I didn't know what to expect. So we ended up with this kid. And I didn't know who he was. I really didn't. And I had to sleep on it and like, you know, read up and research and listen to people talk about him. And the more and more I like, obtain information about this guy, the more and more I'm loving this pick for the
Yeah,
Bulls. For one, he can, like, if anything, this pick lets you know what the front office is looking for going forward, which is this guy can play and defend multiple positions. This guy plays defense, which is a
definitely.
huge thing that the Bulls need. Perimeter defense, which I don't remember the last time they had that. What, Jimmy? Yeah, probably Jimmy.
Yeah.
This dude's 19 years old. And they say he's like the most athletic person in the draft. So we got a freak of a nature athlete that can guard multiple positions, that plays defense. And his shot's not even bad. I think he shot over 40% behind the arc in college. And the only reason why he didn't start is because of the system that they're in Florida State.
Right.
So that's because that was a lot of slack I was hearing. Like, he didn't even start and they drafted him. Like, it's the system he's in. He was naturally a point guard and grew into his frame. So he could put the ball on the floor. He has vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to an interview. The AAU coach that was coaching him growing up, I think like the last couple of years ago, saying that the only reason why he even like started playing off the ball because he started getting double and triple team at point guard. So with that being said, like, this dude can do a lot, and he's only 19 years old. So he's gonna come in and instill probably a defensive presence that the Bulls team hasn't had in so long that we desperately need. So
For sure.
and with his position, it puts people like Otto Porter on notice. Somehow Denzel Valentine is back for another year. It definitely puts him on notice. What's his name, Chandler Hutchinson guy, he's on, like, basically anybody in that position, they don't notice because you're gonna be out this rotation. This is the start of a new era, and the Bulls front office fingerprints is all over it with that guy.
For sure.
He is gonna be around for a long time. I love the pick because he can come in right away, make an impact, and he has high upside, and he's only 19 years old, play multiple
Right.
positions. I love it.
Mm. And your thoughts?
Um, hmm. I'll be completely honest. I didn't really know much about that kid.
I
Like
didn't either, bro. I
right
never heard
before
of
the
him.
draft. Yeah, right before the draft. I got word that that might be their pick, or they might trade up to try to get Wiseman or LaMelo. But I probably kind of knew that wasn't gonna happen. We didn't really have too much to give away besides besides Zach Levine, and I probably knew that wasn't in the Bulls' favor to trade him up for a pick between 1 and 3. So when they picked him, I did a little research. I see he's athletic. He's a two way type of guy, somewhat like a Jimmy Butler type of player. So I mean, I'm hoping that he pans out. Everybody was saying, oh, he hasn't started and all this. So I'm willing to give him a chance. Like, hopefully hopefully he's just that guy, and he just ends up being a superstar. And we look back years from now and you'd be like, wow, we really got one this time. And instead of him being a bust. The similar thing happened to Porzingis when he got picked. He got booed and nobody knew who he was, and he ended up being a hit for the Knicks. I don't know why he let him go. That's a whole nother story. But
Just because the Knicks, the Knicks are the Knicks.
yeah, yeah. But I hope it just be one of those type of situations. We look back and we be like, well, this was actually a great pick. So I'm interested in seeing what their plans are for the future. Because obviously what we was doing before, it wasn't working, and it hasn't been working in a long time. So
Right. And
you know,
that's a
I'm
really good point, man.
yeah. So I'm just here and open to see what their plans are and what they plan on doing, and hopefully he pans out. Hopefully he really pans out. Like Jamar stated, we need a somebody that plays both sides of the ball, somebody that can move, somebody that's athletic, and he's real young. Like you said, he's 19, so he has a lot of upside, and hopefully he pans out and be a great player with us.
Yeah, hopefully so, man. Don't know much about him either, but as stated, y'all mentioned everything. Um, could put you in the mindset of a Jimmy Butler. And that's a very, very great compliment if that's the case, right? Um, definitely seemed like he defends and he's 6'8", 19 years old, got a jump shot. My concern is him coming off the bench. How would that adjust to the NBA, number one, but then possibly adjusting to a starting role in the coming years? Not necessarily this year, but definitely could be coming off the bench again. But hopefully, yeah, he pans out. I'm excited a little bit. I'm a little like, but a part of me, y'all, was like, yes, I mean, Thursday night, I was a little pessimistic, but my optimism seemed to be rising a little bit more. And we're going to find out quickly, y'all, what he's about because the season starts in a month and
Yeah.
training camp starts in about a week or so, 2 weeks. So, yeah, best of luck, Bulls. You're definitely going young, so hopefully these things pan out, and then one day we can make that big splash to get AD. All right.
Hmm.
Yep. So, know you fellas heard the sad news coming out of Oakland. Really, really sad news. Again with our buddy here, Clay Thompson, man, injured
Yeah.
again. Achilles is torn, out for the season. Um, just curious, like, do the Warriors, y'all, like, fellas, do the Warriors make the playoffs this season? Like, do they make the playoffs this season? And could we literally be watching the beginning of the end for the Warriors? Like, as crazy as that sounds, could we be watching the end of a dynasty in Golden State? And so, Ian, just your input, man. Like, could this be the end of the beginning of the end in Golden State?
Oh man, it was devastating, kind of devastating hearing that. The other day we've been looking, to see the Splash Brothers back together, just to see them playing together. It was That was a good thing to see them playing basketball the right way together. And to hear that the other day, I was like, wow, he's just coming off an ACL injury. And
Right.
I mean, he's pretty much been out almost probably about close to a year and a half. So I know he was probably well and healthy and, ready to play. So just to hear that was very devastating. So I can imagine, what he's feeling right now and, his emotions and everything.
True.
Will they make the playoffs? See, they're acquiring Kelly Oubre. I mean they should, but like the West is getting thick again. You got Phoenix making moves. You still got Portland.
Pelicans.
You got Portland, New Orleans. We still got both LA teams.
Dallas,
Denver,
Denver.
yeah, Dallas, yeah. So, I mean, if they make the playoffs, I would say between that 5 and 8 range. I won't count out Steph and Draymond Green, and they got Wiseman, so that was a good pick. They needed size. They definitely
They still
needed
got
that.
Wiggins too.
Yeah, still got Wiggins. So I mean, I won't count them out at all. But that was tough hearing that happen to Clay. That was tough, man. That was real tough.
Yeah. Jamar, you know what? Before you go, let me just chime in really quickly, brother.
Go for it.
I think y'all, sadly enough, this could be the beginning of the end of Golden State. And I know Jamar might disagree because he gonna say a jump shot never goes away. I don't give a damn if you out for 2 years or 3 years, and that he gonna come back next year probably at the same pace. I feel like with that's very true. I just feel like with Klay Thompson, this injury, y'all, this is like going to be his second year, and he's been hurt a lot, y'all. If y'all remember previously to injuring himself in Toronto last year, and so I don't know, man, if this ever comes back and be the same. Could it? Could they, right, y'all, be like the Lakers where they won, they had they run, then they had to rebuild a team and come back like 2010? Possible. But then again, it's a part of me that's just seeing these other teams uptrend and really make things competitive. And so I don't know if the Warriors come back. Do they make the playoffs this year? Yes, they make the playoffs as a 7th or 8th seed because of the respect I have for Steph and Draymond. But if one of those guys get hurt, then we definitely seeing the end of a dynasty. Go ahead, Jamar.
All right, so a jump shot never goes away.
It doesn't.
It doesn't at all.
All right, so I don't think it's the end just yet, just because of their style of play. Between Clay and Steph, like they're shooters. They don't rely on athleticism as the key essential of their game.
Right.
They can move without the ball. They don't need to like go up and be a Skywalker. They just be crafty about their about their skills and what they do. And just as important as them shooting is them moving without the ball. So that they're great at both of those. So if anything, I feel like it just delays it another year, which is another year older for everybody. But I guess the silver lining here is with them bringing in Oubre and drafting Wiseman, you got Wiggins. I don't know if he's still going to be there or not. But anyway, this year, it just, get them seasoned to where the following year, if Clay is back and everybody's healthy, like it should be full steam ahead. That's just my opinion. But a lot of it's going to definitely be predicated on probably Steph Curry's health at this point, because normally when Clay is out, Steph has to do more. And when he does more, he's more prone to being injured. Because as we know, he at one point in time, he had an injury-prone history. Right. We know he can get hurt. He got hurt last year. So between that and probably the GM continuing to make moves to keep them relevant, that's how we're going to probably dictate this. And as far as them making the playoffs, it's gonna be tough, just because of stuff like Phoenix happened. Like if that didn't happen, maybe I feel a little bit more comfortable now. But it's like Phoenix. I feel like all three of us feel like they're a deadlock for a playoff spot this year. That's that because of how the impact of Chris Paul is. So then you take away one of the teams that did make it last year, so you already fighting up for what, another couple of spots there.
That's
and
Houston.
then I guess we got to monitor the Houston situation. So that could be an open spot there. But you got teams like New Orleans making moves. I know they lost Drew Holiday, but your younger core just got another year of experience and they're ready to rock and roll. Another year Zion under the belt I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a lot better than what he did last year. You got Ja Morant and Memphis. Don't forget about them. They're coming.
Yeah.
They are coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a dogfight. That's what it's gonna be. I can see him making the playoffs. I can also see him not making the playoffs. It just depends on how it goes.
That's true, man. That's true. I really didn't put it to where I can see them making it or not making it. When you mention these teams, I can see them making it or not making it. Because it's going to be, like you say, with all those young teams. And we can even put Portland in that battle too.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically how you said that the Eastern Conference playoffs is going to be lit next year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The playoff race in that Western Conference is going to be lit. So I'm excited to see how that's going to boil down.
Yeah, y'all, it's going to be an exciting NBA season, man. It's going to be a lot of competitive teams. We know the East going to be loaded with Miami and Boston and Philly now, and Brooklyn and Indiana still being a formidable foe. Possibly now getting Gordon Hayward to come in Indiana. Not saying that he's still a very serviceable NBA player. These are just a few teams, and I didn't even mention the juggernauts of the East. I mean, I mentioned a few juggernauts, but we still got other juggernauts. So I mentioned Philly, I mentioned Boston, I mentioned Toronto, Indiana, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Orlando, still like a very tough team. That center they got down there is a really good ball player, and he always tends to show up. And so the East definitely gonna be loaded for sure. And so the West is gonna be loaded too, man. And I'm really excited now to see that bottom of that West, to see how that shape out. Is this gonna be cracking? We know that the Lakers gonna be up there fighting with the Clippers, Denver, Utah, Dallas, but then you got the Phoenixes, you got the Memphises, the Pelicans, the Warriors. Good stuff. It ain't gonna be no nights off for sure. So
I'll tell you what though. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Clippers is probably the one team right now that desperately needs to start making moves. Otherwise, the Lakers is going to be head and shoulder favorites out the West. Not even like a battle. It's going to be like you're going to get stumped on.
Right.
At this point. Right. So they're going to have to do something here today.
Yeah, they got to do something for sure. Go for Russell Westbrook or Rajon Rondo. These are rumors coming out of the Clipper land. So we'll see if they grab one of those point guards. All right, world. Let's not talk about the NFL. Let's talk about y'all's Chicago Bears.
Here you go.
Y'all's
he was on this
Bears.
last week.
Yes.
He was on this last week, man.
Y'all's Chicago Bears. I know y'all possibly seen the timeline on Facebook, possibly seen things about this on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast last week. But this is y'all's Chicago Bears. After their abysmal performance. I ain't never seen an offense so terrible, man. Oh my goodness. Well, I've seen terrible. Bears have had terrible offenses like for a number of years. I can think of a number of years. So this is just yet another year for a Bears fan, just in case y'all didn't know. Abysmal performance against the Minnesota Vikings on Monday night. And so Ian, Jamar, and Ian, I'm gonna let you go first, bro. Let's play GM. So this is like your moment of the GM, man, when you making decisions for y'all's Chicago Bears. And so, in regards to the rest of this season, what do you do? Do you start Trubisky? Do you put this kid Tyler Bray in? Or is your eye beginning to, like, are you tanking? Is your eye now beginning to close in on Matt Nagy? Like, just basically, what do you do for the rest of the season? And then additionally, are you beginning to now add Matt Nagy? Which,
So first of all,
enough.
shout out to, I love the Bears, but shout out to the Vikings and their defense. They got me my first win in like the last 8 weeks in fantasy. So shout out to the
Congrats.
Vikings and the Bears offense. But at this point, man, it's tough. I would start Trubisky. I mean, this offense and offensive line doesn't fit Nick Foles right now. He can't move, and teams know that. So we can't run the ball, so they're not gonna do nothing but blitz us every game. So
what they saw in David Montgomery.
Yeah, so I feel like offensively now we have to get the ball out quick. And the last game, they looked like they were doing that, a couple drives, but they get in certain situations where, the quick game is not working. And, like I said, we don't have a running game, so that's a very big issue. And I think the most frustrating thing is with this Bears offense is the talent is there. Like, the talent is not the issue. The talent is there.
So you telling me, Ian, that David Montgomery is talented?
Yeah, I think David Montgomery is very talented. I think our first impression of David Montgomery was like, he's slow and, all these other things. But I think he's a very good patient runner. He can make a move. He can run through you. I just think we just haven't seen the best of him because of his offensive line. Every time he gets the ball, there's 2 or 3 people in his face. That's probably why he had the most. I think at one point he had the most broken tackles or most missed tackles in the NFL. I don't know about now because he's been hurt. And then it's unfortunate, we lost to Cohen for the year. Kind of our change up back. And then now, David Montgomery, he had a concussion. So, I mean, we got Cordero Patterson back there, but he's not a traditional running back. So it's tough. So, I mean, at this point, start Trubisky, get your money's worth. I mean, you paid all that money for him. We drafted him, number 2. So at this point, but his shoulder's still kind of iffy, I'm hearing. So, but at this point, start Trubisky. The Nick Foles thing it's not working. I didn't expect it to work in the summertime when they signed him. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. You got the inconsistency from Anthony Miller. I have a love and hate relationship with Anthony Miller. One game, Anthony Miller, he could come out, catch a game-winning touchdown. He catching passes like, he a number 1 receiver. Then you get him the next game, he can't catch a cold. He'd be like, so.
That brother said, Jamar, he said that brother can't even catch a cold.
So I just think I think Mooney is a real bright spot for that team. We got Allen Robinson.
Definitely.
The talent is there, man. The talent is there. I even like Cole Kmet. I wasn't a big fan of that draft pick, but I like Cole Kmet. I think he's talented. The talent is there. It just ultimately comes to the offensive line. The play calling sometimes. The play calling was a little better last week, but I mean, with no O-line and no running game, I mean,
what can you do?
You're just doing yourself a disservice actually being out there, I'm curious to know what they do in practice. Like, with having, you got Robert Quinn, you got Khalil Mack, you got Akeem Hicks, this is ultimately a Super Bowl defense. Like, literally, this is a Super Bowl defense. And the crazy part is they're not getting blew out every week. They're losing by 6 points, 7 points. The points that the offense need to put up, they're not getting blew out at all. So And I know the defense is frustrated. I know that it's got to be frustrating. You know, every time they look back up, they back on the field, or being a turnover. So
all day.
I don't know if they should tank. And it's crazy. I was looking at the standings the other day. So, who lost the other night? Was it,
So the other night
the Cardinals
was the
lost.
Seahawks and the Cardinals. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Cardinals lost. So they 6-4 now. And the NFL is, I think they got 7 teams going into the playoffs this year now.
Yep.
And the Bears are a game out from the wild card, which is crazy. If they would have won the other day, we would be standing today. We would be in the wild card. And it just always works that way for the Bears. Now, if the Bears would have won the other night, the Cardinals would have won again the other night. it just always works out that way for them, man. It's so irritating. It's like we right there, because if we get in the playoffs with that defense, nobody's gonna want to play that defense, man. So I mean, at this point, they could tank. I would love for them to get Justin Fields, but that's a dream. That's just a dream.
Definitely a dream.
But at this point, start Trubisky. Just see where that takes us. He was 3, and I tell people all the time. I mean, he was 3-0. They didn't even let him finish the game. He probably would have lost the game to Atlanta. I'm not saying that he would have came back. I mean, he did it the first week in Detroit, but he was 3-0. We've been 2-5 since then. So,
right.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, start the kid, man. I mean, not to say that he's gonna be the savior, but I mean, you got to get your money's worth. Might as well start him.
True. Gotcha. Jamar, man, your thoughts?
Man,
Jamar looks really depressed over there. What's going on, man? Saturday morning.
Man, I'm starting to feel like you now when you talk about the Bears.
I've been telling y'all this. Y'all just not catching on?
You're stressful being the Bears fan.
This should be like, this ain't nothing new.
It's this particular situation right now.
This ain't nothing new.
Man, we sitting in purgatory, man. That's where we at. Look, so our record is too good to tank and actually get something out of it. That's the problem.
Right.
And it's hard to win games because of a lot of things of offense. Just the offense. There's a lot of things. Like being a GM right now, you stuck. Like what can you do? If you was a GM and if Ted Phillips, would like sign on to a lot of moves, like let's see, we could have had Cam Newton, could have had Teddy Bridgewater. Matter of fact, we was right. We was on the doorstep of Teddy Bridgewater.
Even mention all these.
They listen to that.
They listen to their fan base. That's their problem.
Yep.
Bunch of right wingers who don't like viruses in the locker room, and the fans are the virus. Go ahead. Yeah.
And the common denominator of the Bears being like have had this bad offense for a number of decades is Ted Phillips. I came to that conclusion about like a few days ago. He's been there the whole time, and he's the right-hand man to the owner. So it's like you got to cut the head off of the snake, and he's the head of the snake, and there ain't nothing gonna change until he's gone. But anyway, at this exact moment, I mean, I'm off the Nick Foles train just because he can't even be productive because the line can't protect him and he can't move at all. He's on his Phillip Rivers, so he can't move. So right now you have to have a mobile quarterback. I mean, Trubisky's been banged up, so he ain't been active the past couple of weeks. They over here giving tryouts to Deshaun Kaiser and stuff. So
really? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. You just got to get somebody that can run for their life back there at this point and make plays. You can go get Willie Beeman. I don't know.
Willie Beeman.
It's so bad right now. I haven't seen the offensive line this bad since when Jay Cutler first got traded to the Bears. I haven't seen the O-line
he used to get pummeled. He was getting knocked around. That was 2011.
That's how bad the offensive line got that bad. I know we had a couple of injuries, but I feel like a couple of guys just underachieving and old and just don't even want to be there no more. You can't even run the football. When you can't run the football, you become one-dimensional, and when you become one-dimensional, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like play calling can't even save you half the time. So I don't know what to do. You tank, you're not gonna get a good draft pick right now because you got 5 wins. You started out 5-1. What you gonna do? You got the Jets out there still without a win, and they hitting the jackpot. You got the football team out there and the whole NFC
Cowboys.
least right now. They gonna get better draft picks than you are.
Mhm.
So
NFC
you just
Yeah,
stuck.
man, you ain't heard about the NFC least?
You're stuck. Hey, what you
Yeah,
gonna do?
man.
You
Man.
and just
Somebody
go
from
on
that division
vacation.
and go make the playoffs. That's crazy.
Man, I mean, man.
You the GM, just I don't know. You might as well just clean out your office. Like
So you
it-
think
it's-
he packing his bags at the end of the season?
yeah, he probably telling Nagy to do so too. Like the only reason why he kept his job right now because he gave up play calling. Otherwise, he like, look, man, if you want to survive to the end of the year, give up play calling. Otherwise, you out before Thanksgiving. That's probably what happened.
So wait, so fellas, you're
Woo!
saying Jamar that he pulled him to the side and he's saying, "Hey, Matt, come December, brace for the worst." That's what he's basically telling him, right? Like,
That's I mean, at this point, you're done. You're cooked. You are cooked. You are having a turkey right now. You're done.
man,
I don't like. You can't fix this. You can't. I know I'm going on a rant here, but you can't do it. It's a
No,
wrap.
you can't fix an offensive line issue in the middle of the season.
Nah, not even close.
Can't fix
No.
it.
You
Yeah.
stuck on the side of the road with a broken engine right now. Like you're done.
Man, like the worst case scenario, pretty much.
Dude, like I've been looking forward to the NBA this week. I didn't even think about them until you brought this question up.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
I'm done. It's our bye week, man. Like
Yeah, we need a break. We need a break from
Bye.
that heartbreak, man.
Goodbye.
Look, world, I'm getting the blame this morning. I should have known that it was a bye week. I should have not brought up the question because it was gonna raise people's blood pressure. Like
Bye.
it's just my fault, man, for bringing up the Bears. Like I should have just known better.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Last week they kind of put me to sleep because I'm like, they
Oh,
terrible. I was like, I was watching it, but the beginning of the fourth quarter they put me to sleep, and I woke up. I was like, I just know they lost.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought we had a chance when Cordell passed the running back. I'm like, okay, even he's turned up. Like, let's go. And then
right.
Buddy muffed the punt, and it went all downhill from there.
It just went all downhill.
And I'm pretty sure he's
Yeah.
gonna get cut because I ain't seen him back in the game after that. I'm
He got
like,
hurt. I think he got hurt too.
He got hurt, but
and they
yeah,
signed
he
another
eventually gonna
kick
get
returner.
cut.
They signed another kick returner. So
yeah.
Didn't they cut Ted again too recently?
Yep, he gone.
Yep. Yeah, we gone.
Yeah, so shout out to the Chicago Bears. You guys want to continue to listen to your right-wing fan base who buy your tickets. You want to continue to listen to grandma in the booth, and I'm not being mean here, but you want to listen to 96-year-old grandma in the booth. You want to listen to Ted Phillips and Ryan Pace, who don't know a damn thing about football. All he is in this for the money. So as a result of these things, you have what you have. And so shout out to the offensive line. I think it was Jamari pointed out that Jared Leno looks like a big old bag, huge arms, big upper body, and chicken legs. No wonder
Yeah.
why. No
Yeah,
wonder
he
why you can't block nobody. You got
He
those
is
chicken
terrible.
legs. Don't look like you ain't lifting no weights. Look like,
At all.
but yet you want to come out and
I
block
don't
Aaron
understand
Donald.
how he still has a job. I don't understand how that's almost equivalent to somebody that just
I
comes to
swear we're
work
gonna talk
high and
about the
drunk
Bears for the next
every day.
hour.
He secured the bag and let go like Darren Williams did. When Darren Williams secured the bag with the Nets, it was a wrap.
Oh, perfect
That-
example.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
I'm telling you, because man,
He
you
came
shouldn't be
trash
out there.
overnight.
His legs is. I mean, his legs is
I-
literally our size of our legs. Like, but belly is. I mean, just it's like how the hell, like, anywho. Good luck, Bears. Maybe you get a bounce back win. Hopefully, man, the Bears can get 7 wins. Maybe even 8, because they do play Detroit. They possibly can pull out a miracle against the Vikings, but their next game is definitely not looking good as they go up to Green Bay when they're off the bye. All right, let's get into some quick coverage, y'all, of college football. Just quickly, y'all, need y'all picks. Is Indiana the real deal? They go up to Ohio State today, Jamar, at noon, and they looking good. They playing defense too. This team might be the real deal. Do they go out and they pull up the upset up in Ohio State?
No.
Oh,
Exactly.
they not the real deal
No.
yet then.
No. It's a wrap. No. Ohio State winning. It's not like kudos to Indiana Hoosiers, who's known as a basketball team, well, basketball school rather, and number 9 in the country.
Yeah, man, they number
they're-
9. Wow.
I mean, they're solid, but as we all know, Ohio State is head and shoulders above basically everybody in the Big Ten. Year after year after year, you gonna tell me that they're gonna come in and beat Justin Fields in Ohio State? It's not happening.
No
It's not
gotcha.
happening. It's a wrap.
Gotcha.
That's it. That's all I got to say.
I was excited for a minute. Yeah, but like Indiana got a chance, man. But after listening to that, I don't know if they do. I got to go to Ohio State as well. And who you got, man?
My answer is biased. I love Ohio State, so
Yeah. By the way, y'all,
it's no
Jamar,
shock.
man. Go ahead, finish, man.
I just think it's too much. Shout out to Indiana. They to about 5-6-0. Like you said, they're known to be a basketball school, but just to go up to Ohio State and with Justin Fields and those receivers, they're so explosive. They're young. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. By the way, y'all, I just want to point out that Jamar, man, been killing me with these NFL picks. When this guy usually, and he killed me last week with the college picks. I mean, this dude know football like his back of his freaking head. So, no, for real, man, it's crazy. But he sees stuff coming that I don't see coming. I see stuff coming to basketball. It's just like we kind of intertwine sports. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna go to Ohio State because I was kind of a little excited about Indiana, but kind of like I was brought down to earth here. Yeah. So Wisconsin at Northwestern, y'all, is Northwestern the real deal? Is this like Northwestern's opportunity to go to the college football playoff? So Jamar, let's start with you.
I'm gonna say no. I ain't gonna say it as bad as I did with Indiana, but
Gotcha.
no. I expect Wisconsin to win this game. Northwestern, I feel like they can, get a bowl game or something, but not in college football. Not the main four. Ain't no way, no how. Wisconsin. I mean, we tried to give who was that? Michigan the benefit of the doubt last week.
And boy, was we wrong. Oh man.
No,
Wisconsin smacked them so bad.
Picked up where they left off at. Like right now, Wisconsin is the second best team in the Big Ten in my eyes. They're better than Indiana right now. They should take care of business at Northwestern. I don't expect it to be a big blowout or anything, but I expect them to win, comfortably in this one.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Ian, who you got, man?
I got Wisconsin. Northwestern, like you said, I don't think they're terrible. Having a pretty good season, but I don't think they're that good. And to be honest, I really think they needed this season because I think Pat Fitzgerald probably would be on his way out of there. I think they kind of need.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I kind of think
that's a really good point, man. Taking it from you, Ian, taking the torchlight. Yeah, a part of me was excited too about Northwestern, but hearing y'all points, I'm learning with college football, man. You just got to go with the better teams. Those teams are the teams that often win. We kind of like to see upsets, but it's certain teams like Ohio State and them that just don't really go. Like they just don't. So, yeah, Wisconsin, man. I thought going up to the Blue House, like the Big House. No way in hell they go up there and they just beat up on Michigan. They beat dog breaks out of them.
It's
And
time
it
for a
was
coaching
just like
change in Michigan.
it got us asking questions about Jim Harbaugh now and his
Yeah,
future.
Yeah.
In
it's
Ann
time.
Arbor.
It's time for a change.
Yeah, there you have it. And so,
Man, him and Pace gonna be at the unemployment line at the end of the year.
Together.
man, but
And
you did
you
mention
know,
Jamar last week that if Jim Harbaugh, man, if he's kicked out of Ann Arbor, you wouldn't mind seeing him coming down to
I wouldn't, because he gets the best out of your quarterback play. He does. If I know one thing about him, he gets the best out of that. And these players, they play up to him more times than not. So
Right.
that's why I like him.
Right. Very interesting to see, man. So yeah, I'm gonna side with y'all fellas. I'm gonna go with Wisconsin. They look really good. They just smashing people. So yeah, quickly, I know I really don't know much about Oklahoma State. I do know I've watched Oklahoma lose a couple games, but just curious who y'all got for this one. This might be a trick game. Oklahoma State at Oklahoma.
That's tough. That is tough.
So
I mean that. Go ahead.
So I see Oklahoma. They got has Spencer Rattler. He started off a little rough, like the first maybe like the first 2 weeks. I know Oklahoma State have a pretty solid offense. They have a great running back. He probably should be he's a first round pick for sure. But Oklahoma has been kind of rolling ever since ever since the beginning of the year. You've been kind of getting more experience, Spencer back there. So I expect it to kind of be a shootout.
It always tend to be, don't it?
Yeah. Who would I pick though? It's pretty tough. I don't know. That's a good one. I would probably say Oklahoma, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma State won though.
Man, no, I agree with you as far as it being tough. I'm gonna actually pick Oklahoma State. Honestly, I haven't watched any games this year, any of these two teams, but I do know that when these two teams play, like it gets real.
Right.
So I'm gonna just take the road team here, in good faith that they could probably pull it off. But it's gonna be a good game regardless. So I'm taking Oklahoma State.
It's definitely always a good game, fellas. I wanted to put that in there, just kind of throw something a little different in there. But Oklahoma is rolling, but Oklahoma State is very talented offensively. Both of these teams tend to play each other really, really tough, like Oklahoma and Texas do. And so I guess I'm gonna go with the home team here. Honestly, y'all, I don't know much about neither of these teams either, but I thought it'd be fun to pick just because it's a big game in college football. Of course, we're gonna be doing this going forward, so I'll go with Oklahoma. We'll see what happens. I've been terrible with college picks. Maybe this is a weekend where I can finally get over the hump because I've been 1-2 for the last 3 weeks. No, actually, I was 0-3 last week and 1-2 the previous week. So yeah, definitely got to step up my college football analysis here. All right, so fellas, Taysom Hill, surprisingly, this guy, he was given the nod to start over Jameis Winston. And so I'm just curious, man, because this is a surprise. This is a really big surprise, especially depending on Taysom Hill's age. He's 30 years old. Like, what does this say? Is this saying anything about Jameis Winston, or is it seniority for Taysom Hill because he's been there longer? Jamar, I need your input, man. And then, like, what's y'all thoughts here?
All right, so really quick before I get into this analysis, just a quick hitter on a fantasy perspective. Because Taysom Hill is labeled as a tight end. He's actually labeled as a quarterback and tight end for this week only. So,
wow.
So that is huge. Next week they'll probably remove the tight end tag and put him at quarterback. So, all right, outside of that,
big opportunity.
That's a loophole this week. I don't think it's really anything bad against Jameis. I think it's just more so probably, like you said, the seniority thing here. I know last year it was, Teddy that started, but I don't know. I feel like it's more so on Taysom this time around. Probably just Taysom probably is more comfortable with the system right now than Jameis is. So I don't think it's anything bad against Jameis because Jameis came in last week and I thought he was fine for the time that he played. So maybe this here just, maybe from a game plan point perspective, just throws a little wrinkle for the other team's defense because you don't never know what to expect. For all I know, he could be the starting quarterback and still line up on tight end. Jameis comes in there and start doing things too. So
That's very good point, bro. Very good point.
So it could definitely be a lot of different, schemes or whatnot. But
Packages,
yeah, so I will say this because I just remembered they said that Jameis not supposed to be part of the game plan. But then again, I don't know. It could be it could just be saying that just to be throwing people off. I don't know. I just know Sean Payton must, know something with Taysom Hill as far as his comfort level in the system and opposed to Jameis Winston right now. So
right.
I give it the benefit of the doubt for now.
Yeah. Well, Ian, let me chime in really quickly.
Go ahead.
I like the fact that they are starting Taysom Hill for this week. I think it's definitely a seniority thing. He's been there longer. He's more familiar with the team, more familiar with the offense and the packages. Don't get me wrong, y'all. Jameis, when he gets in, y'all, he is gonna light it up. He is a very good fit for this offense. And I'm just sitting there watching the highlights, y'all, last week, and I'm like, damn, like Jameis can play. I know this guy turns the ball over, but he can really play. Like beautiful passes, offense moving up and down the field. Few moments, few little, like what the hell was he thinking type moments, but that's Jameis. And then a few moments where the offense kind of looked a little stagnant, but I'm just looking at the potential. And I'm like, they can probably be better because Jameis can move a little bit better than Drew Brees, but he can throw the rock like Drew Brees or probably even better. And so you got people like Ryan Clark and them who think like Jameis is a very good fit and that he can really light some stuff up for this team. And so it was a bit surprising for me, a little bit to see Taysom Hill start, but then when I kind of had to come down to earth, I'm like, he's been there longer, possibly fit more packages. Could this also, like you say, Jamar, be a way to throw the other team off? Like, could this be like, oh, let's prepare for Taysom Hill, let's not prepare for Jameis. But meanwhile, Jameis coming in on certain packages, like he does with Drew Brees all the time. He's running the ball out the backfield on some plays. He's playing tight end. He's playing receiver, throwing the whole defense off. That could very well be the case. And so hopefully that other team, right, y'all, is wise enough to look through that and be like, hey, for this week's practice, we still got to prepare for Jameis getting in the quarterback and Taysom Hill doing this or doing that, boo off the bam. So that could very, very, very well be the case. That makes total sense. And so I don't think it's saying much about Jameis. I think when Jameis gets his start eventually, we're calling it out here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast that he will start possibly next week or coming weeks. It just all depends, especially right on how Taysom Hill is throwing the ball. And so we'll see. But I don't think it says much about Jameis, but I think with Jameis as the quarterback, this offense has a lot of potential, a whole lot of potential. So, Ian, just your thoughts, man.
Well, personally, for me, it doesn't surprise me because I know for a fact Sean Payton, he loves Taysom Hill. Like he loves Taysom Hill. Like if they didn't have Jameis or
True.
I think this is his chance to see if Drew Brees after the Drew Brees era, will Taysom Hill be the right pick to take over that offense because he loves Taysom Hill. Like it's no thing to and I think is a thing where like y'all said, he's more comfortable with the offense, he's comfortable with the sets and also the players. Jameis only been there a couple months. They haven't had really no training camp or nothing like that. So I think it was that, but I just know he loves Taysom Hill. So it really didn't surprise me. Me personally, I probably would did the same thing. Take Taysom Hill as for this game to see how it works because he's never. I don't think he's ever started
He's
a
never
full
started.
game as a
Good point.
quarterback. Yeah.
hmm
So I just think this is his time to see how it will go. If the Drew Brees era is pretty much over because he has some pretty serious injuries and he's up in age. So I just think this is his chance to see if Taysom Hill is the answer or he's just a gimmick and a package.
Right. Very good
I
point,
wouldn't
man.
I wouldn't too much worry about Jameis. I believe Jameis is the better quarterback, but yeah, it's not really surprising. So I'm not sure who they play this week, so I don't know how it will
We're
go.
about to get into those picks shortly.
Yeah, so yeah, not really surprising. I know Sean Payton, he loves Taysom Hill.
Yep. All right. Well, fellas, speaking of picks, let's actually conclude the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast for this weekend by doing our NFL picks. And so I'm pulling up the schedule. And so Cardinals and Seahawks. I've a lot of people like the Cardinals. I just think this team is a pretender. Like I think they're a good football team and they're dangerous. And it's a part of me that is a little skeptical because I was debating this week, y'all. I was like, pretender when I'm watching the game, but then I see DeAndre Hopkins make passes or catches. Then I see, Tyler Murray run, or then Kyler Murray run or get a touchdown off to that tight end, number 87, and I'm like, okay, maybe they're the real deal. So I'm kind of up in the air with the Cardinals right now. But Seahawks, man, they shouldn't even be 7-3. They should be about 8-2 or 9-1 because every game they lost has been just really nailed by the last field goal type of games. They could easily be 9-1 or 10-0. So yeah, let's however get into these picks, y'all. We got the 9-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin, he stated this week that he respects the hell out of the Jaguars. And that, in other words, he sounds like he's not sleeping on his team. And so, Jamar, let's begin every pick with you, Ian, and then I'll conclude with my pick. And so, yeah, Jamar, do the Jaguars stay undefeated this weekend?
The who?
Sorry, the Steelers. Thank you. The Jaguars, y'all, ain't undefeated at all. The Jaguars, y'all, they actually was on the opposite end of being undefeated. They damn near should be 0-9. My bad. Yeah. So do the Pittsburgh Steelers, do the Sean Reed's Pittsburgh Steelers stay undefeated?
Yep, they sure do. I think Mike Tomlin said that just to make sure they don't overlook this opponent. So they'll be dialed in and take care of business like they should. If I had a towel, I'll do a little terrible towel thing just for Deshaun. But no, Steelers winning.
And shout out to Deshaun Reed and the Destination Fantasy Podcast, which airs every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. You can find that on multiple platforms. But we'll shout that out at the end of our podcast. I'll give y'all more information on that as well as see your cousin know. So, Ian, who do you got? Steelers or Jags?
Oh, I got the Steelers. Definitely could be a trap game though. I could really see the Steelers losing this game, not being focused and kind of overlooking it. But as long as they stay focused, they should handle business.
All right. Lions and Panthers. And yeah, I'm going with the Steelers as well, y'all. Lions and Panthers. Somebody got to win this game. So Jamar, who you got?
This is interesting. No 99 overall running back.
Oh yeah, he's not playing. But he's still a 99 somehow. World, I don't get it.
I think
privilege.
Teddy is questionable too, but I think he may play. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carolina here.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carolina because they're both of their wide receivers are starting to take off here. I know Robbie Anderson been having a great year, but DJ Moore is coming on as of late. And even with Mike Davis at running back, he's been serviceable. long as Teddy plays, I'm comfortable picking the Panthers here.
All right. Mm-hmm. And who you got?
I would say the Panthers as well. Like he stated, I don't know what's up with Teddy. Is he playing or not this week? But I got the Panthers. The Lions have the talent. The talent has been there for, I would probably say, the last 5 to 10 years. I just think it's a culture thing. They just find a way to just lose. I mean, they be in games and they just find a way to lose.
Yep. Also, I'll throw out there, DeAndre Swift is not playing, and Galladay has a chance to not play as well. So
yeah, he on my fantasy. He ain't played in like a couple weeks. So yeah.
Okay, that's information. I'm gonna go with the Lions, y'all. Detroit is playing good football as of late, y'all. They, lost one of their recent games. They about 3-1 their last 4. They have been playing pretty decent football. And they are I think 4-5, right behind the Bears.
Yeah, I believe so.
They're not as bad as a football team as a lot of people think. If they beat the Bears, they easily be 5-4. If DeAndre Swift would have caught that ball in the end zone.
Hey man, would've, should've, could've.
I'm just pointing it out. Like
I know.
I'm making my point, y'all, that the Lions are not as bad as we think.
No, they always have talent.
They always in games, they, as stated, they find a lot of ways to blow games, but I think we kind of can put together with our experience of watching the Lions in football is that this is going to be a good game. It's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter. And I think the Lions hopefully could pull it out. If it gets really late and the Lions are down, then the Panthers will win this game. It's a time limit here. If the Lions are down at a certain point in this game, they could easily lose. But I think the Lions, man, they keep their mojo going, sort of like I've been saying with the Vikings. Both of these teams are kind of hot right now. So I'm going to take the Lions at home. I mean, on the road, actually, in Carolina. Patriots and Texans. Speaking of another team that's playing good football as of late. Jamar, who you got?
Man, this is actually an interesting game. My heart says Houston. My brain is telling me New England is rolling.
Right.
I'm picking New England, and I know they have had a disappointing year. And I can go back to Cam playing well, Cam getting COVID, Cam being garbage for a couple of games. Cam starting to turn it back around now. I feel like Patriots play with pride. They do. They get it done. I feel like Cam has something to prove. He's working with nobodies, a bunch of nobodies, and I'll say it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Cam Newton's best receiver in his whole entire career is your 99 overall Madden player in Carolina.
Wow.
So, with all that being said, I am taking New England. It's nothing against Deshaun Watson and them, but I think it's just more so about New England in this one. That's my opinion.
Gotcha. Yeah. And who you got?
This pick will be biased. I'm not gonna lie. My favorite player is Cam Newton. So I'll take the Patriots. I guess they're trying to find a way to win games on offense. I mean, they don't really have much. It's the running game, but their running game is they've really been running that ball. They've been running the ball lately. So I mean, they have that against them. I don't know what's going on in Houston. I know they missed D-Hop. I know that hurt.
Weird, ain't it?
Yeah, they missed D-Hop bad. I kind of feel bad for Deshaun because like he was at this pedestal, and now this year has just kind of been it's kind of been like a nightmare. So they'll probably have a top 10 pick, but I wouldn't sleep on them this game. Just to the uncertainty of the Patriot defense and offense sometimes. So I'll go Patriots in a close game, but I wouldn't shy away from saying the Texans will get blew out or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of momentum, Patriots are hot. I like the way they plan. They seem to be really focused now. And they seem like they kind of found an identity. And so the Patriots are who we think they. We don't think much of the Patriots, but if they could be a team that can fight for a wild card, they have to take care of Houston, the team that's ailing. But it is a very dangerous game because of the fact of those guys being in Houston and then Deshaun Watson being behind the center. So, you know, Patriots, however, they are playing really good football, and knowing how Bill Belichick rolls, he gets his team the most out of his teams, and he'll have them ready for a trick game like this. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots to keep their momentum rolling. Jamar, Titans and Ravens, good one, good one.
Man,
Who you got in this slugfest?
man, I looking at this, like I kind of wish Earl Thomas was still there so he can make up for what happened last year in the playoffs. Because
Oh
I need
yeah,
him,
well, he
I need
got
him to
pushed.
redeem himself. I really do. Maybe the
He
Ravens
got
cut him.
turned around basically by
Man, he
like
got
like
scared of that man.
he stepped on him so bad, y'all, that he turned him around like
Like a little
backwards
rag doll.
Man,
and still was pushing him.
I wish we
Like
had that clip right now. I really do. I really wish we had that clip right now. But maybe they cut him to save him some slack on this one. Anyway, I know these are two teams that are maybe not playing to the level that we expect right now. They're still good quality teams.
right.
I am going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. I believe they will get it done. It will definitely be a dogfight. This is no easy game, but I feel like the Ravens they've been wanting this matchup since they saw it on their schedule this year because of what they did to them last year. So I'm going Baltimore. Close game.
Gotcha. Ian, follow up. Who you got?
I'll go Baltimore as well. I hope they open up the offense a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and so it won't be so, I guess, kind of predictable. I think the NFL is catching on to Baltimore's offense, so hopefully they're not so predictable. But I got Baltimore in a close game. I think
Right.
they've been winning
And
this game, like Jamar
speaking
stated.
of the stiff arm, so I gotta pull it up. I gotta pull it up, fellas. It was just it was monumental. And so
Very disrespectful.
well, let's take a look really quickly at the memory of this wild card, whether it's divisional round playoff. So let's just take a look because it would definitely appear that
is in front. Handoff, Henry. Henry takes it to the outside. Oh, the stiff arm twice on Thomas, and he's out of bounds. First down run for Derrick Henry.
That's crazy.
A workhorse for this
That's
Tennessee
crazy.
yes.
offense.
So
That's a
that's what we
27-yard.
got, world. It's a very unfortunate situation for Earl Thomas. Kind of unfortunately led to him not being in an NFL uniform. And so yeah, there you have that. And so there you go. Hopefully the Ravens as a team are motivated for Earl Thomas and they come out to play. But getting into the football analysis, y'all. And I've been telling you, Jamar, this Titans team has been tanking. I won't say sorry, not tanking, but they've been just on a bad roll. Patriots are playing good football. The Lions and the Vikings are playing good football. The Titans are not. They're not. And so the Ravens, on the other hand, they're an dangerous team. They are at home. One thing about the Titans is their injury is serious. They don't have much else. So I tell them
Hey, Brandon, I can't hear you at all right now.
So can you
I can hear
hear
you
me
a
now?
lot better. A
Yeah,
lot
we can
better.
hear you now.
Okay, good. Yeah, possibly it was my volume and different things. But I just wanted to state that as of late, and let me see when I pull this back up. Can you fellas hear me? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we heard.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Um, Titans just been playing bad football as of late. I told Jamar that this is not really a good team as of late, and so it kind of appears to be catching up with them. If Derrick Henry's not carrying them or AJ Brown, they really don't have much outside of that. So I like the Ravens to kind of keep their winning ways going. So yeah, I got the Ravens. Jamar, Eagles and Browns, NFC least, first place. First place, okay? They are in first place. So look, they not coming in thinking that they finna get whooped. They in first place. So they gonna come in thinking that they can beat the Browns. Well, they beat the Browns.
I mean, you're right. They coming in with pride on their shoulders, like we are the front runners of the NFC least right now.
Exactly.
We
I dare
control that
y'all tell
destiny.
we first place in the NFC least.
We control that, and they gonna control this L too, because the Browns gonna win. That's what's gonna happen. The Browns, see, they got their guy Nick Chubb back, and him and the dynamic duo, him and Kareem Hunt, they
Bro, did
it's
y'all
tough.
see that them running backs won them the whole game last week?
Yeah,
That's what they do. That's
It
their
was
identity.
unbelievable.
They have a clear identity. That means the more they run the ball, the less pass attempts you got to see from Baker Mayfield. That's what they see now.
exactly.
And that's a
And
good thing.
that is. And so I expect the Browns to go 7-3. Who would have thought? I mean, 7-3. Like, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I
Yep.
expect the Browns to win. Dog pound.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And who you got?
I it, it troubles me, but I have the Browns. That running game, those two running backs. I mean, they awesome, man. I mean, it's just he's really lucky to have both of them at running back, and Nick Chubb, he can get
For
at it. Once
real.
he gets going downhill, it gets ugly. So
Yep.
I
Two
gotta go with
dogs
the
in the
Browns.
backfield, man.
Monsters.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a side with y'all as well. I got the dog pound. Been telling y'all this is a good football team, and they've been running over people. It's amazing to see. Falcons and Saints. So that's who the Saints got, and they got the Falcons. And so who y'all got? Jamar, let's begin with you.
You know, this is a big trap game for the Saints. This
Big one.
because if I'm not mistaken, the Saints was 7-1 last year, and they lost against the 1-7 Falcons. If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and with no Drew Brees playing, I know this is tasting his opportunity, but the Falcons always, and I mean always, they get up for the Saints no matter what.
Right.
And I'm not going to ignore the Falcons offense because they can put up points if they really want to. So I got the Saints. I don't feel 100% confident in that pick, but I have them because I know they are playing as a better football team right now overall.
Right.
I'm taking the Saints, but I'm just saying, Falcons,
Right.
nothing to sneeze on right now in that matchup.
And who you got?
Oh, Jamar is absolutely correct. So I'll go with the Falcons just based upon we haven't seen Taysom Hill start as a quarterback in a full game. And I know the Falcons defensive plan is probably to make him pass the ball. We're not gonna let him run. We're not gonna let him get in a wildcat and run. No, you're gonna pass the ball to beat us today. So he's probably gonna get blitzed a lot today or this weekend. And they're gonna put pressure on Taysom here. They're gonna make him beat them as a quarterback and not a wildcat.
Yep. So for me, I'm a side with you, and I got the Falcons. I think for those reasons. Michael Thomas. I mean, they got so many weapons. Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill as a weapon. You putting Jameis Winston in. If the Saints y'all do what Jamar stated, where they put Jameis at quarterback and let Taysom do what he does, then I got the Saints. But if, like you say, and if You got Taysom Hill out there trying to beat his quarterback. I don't know if that's gonna mesh well. And so in that case, yeah, I think likely the case will be that they're going to try to put Taysom Hill out there for just this one game to see what he can do at quarterback. And so for that reason, I think the Falcons are going to pull out an upset because they're not a bad football team. They're just a team that don't know how to win games. I think a lot of people forget that they could easily be a 5-4 football team. So I like the Falcons to go into New Orleans and pull it out. Bengals and the Washington football team. The Washington football team, they are in an intense battle for first place in the NFC East. So they got a lot of motivation come tomorrow. So, Jamar, who you got?
All right, and this tough matchup here between the Bengals and the football team.
Tough, ain't it?
It is, man. But I must normally in matchups like this, I go with the better quarterback. And in this case, that's Joe Burrow.
Yep.
I'm picking, if that's an upset pick, I'm taking Cincinnati here. I feel confident and comfortable that they're going to put up points. Joe Burrow is everything and some for him being the number one pick right now. He's legitimate. Like, if we had Joe Burrow, like, I feel like, I don't know, we probably have 8 wins, even with that bad offensive line, because the Cincinnati Bengals line is just as bad as ours. So, and he snuck out 2 wins and been competitive in every game except for 2. So I'm taking them. They're battle tested for what it's worth, and they should beat that football team. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well. I like the Bengals at home. And who you got?
Washington. I might have to go with. I'll probably go with Cincinnati. Washington at quarterback is real questionable. I don't know what's going on. I know Alex Smith, he's coming off the injury, which is pretty cool to see him come back. I don't know what's going on with the Dwayne Haskins. I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I don't know what's going on with that situation. They just kind of pushed him to the back, and Cal Allen got hurt, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. So I don't know the situation at quarterback. I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, they got a pretty good running game and pretty good talent in the backfield. D-line is insane. Probably one of the best D-lines in the NFL. I don't know. I think I'll like Jamar said, I think I'll go with the better quarterback. I'll go with Joe Burrow for sure. So I'll go with Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'll go with Cincinnati on the road as well. Other side, Jamar, Jets and Chargers. Jets. Jets.
LOSE, lose. That's what's going to happen.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Like the Chargers, I know they've been losing heartbreak after heartbreaker. Like Jets giving away games. They want Trevor Lawrence. Justin Herbert wants a win here. It's Chargers all day, every day in this particular matchup.
Yeah, they're a really bad football team, bro. So yeah, if it would be a game where they could pull out some, it would be tomorrow, but I don't see it happening. So yeah, I got to go with the Chargers as well. And who you got?
Chargers in a blowout. I don't think it's gonna be close.
All right, that states it. Dolphins and Broncos. Jamar, who you got?
Now, anytime anybody visit Mile High, it's definitely a trap game. Just like if the Broncos was to go to Miami, that's a trap game. So either way, it's a trap matchup, however you put it. So with that being said, I am going with the better defense right now, the better quarterback right now, the better ran organization right now, which is the Dolphins. I'm taking them. I say they win by at least 10 points here.
And who you got?
I'll take the Dolphins. Tua has gave them an energy, I guess, to believe. I didn't really agree with them throwing Tua in the fire. I didn't think Fitzpatrick was playing so bad, but I mean, he's been winning. I mean, like he's getting better and better every week. This week might be his welcome to the NFL week, but against the Broncos, I don't see it. I'll take the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna side with you guys as well. I like the Dolphins. I think they're a better team, better ran organization, better quarterback, better everything. Their defense is playing lights out. Yeah, like the Dolphins. Cowboys and Vikings. Who you got?
So I'm gonna take Dalvin Cook. I don't want to take the Minnesota Vikings as a whole because I don't believe in them as a whole, but I will take Dalvin Cook to cook the Cowboys all day in that matchup. That's what's going on. So it's about to be Fogo de Chao out there, and he's about to just light it up. I got the Vikings because of Dalvin Cook and Dalvin Cook alone.
He's been carrying them, man. He's been carrying them. And who you got?
Cowboys got the talent. I just think it's the owner. I got Minnesota. I think, like you said, I think Dalvin Cook is just gonna run well. He might run himself into an MVP trophy this weekend.
Man, he's making a case for it. He is.
I'll tell you, he's making a case for that and making a 99 rating over Christian McCaffrey. So, Vikings and Cowboys. The Cowboys, man, they just to the point all the time. They all the talent in the world, but could it be the owner? It's a very good case, and the Cowboys organization is just a mess. They're motivated, y'all, though, to still go play. I mean, they got hopes for the NFC least. They are still in it. They are still in it.
Yeah.
So, they're gonna come out and play. Wow. But the Vikings, man, they've lately just been playing, really good football. They realize this is a great opportunity to get a win. It'll be a tough win. Cowboys actually been playing games, putting themselves in a position to win. I don't think the Cowboys will want to just get ran all over. They're going to have some pride, definitely, because they got talent. So, would I be surprised if the Cowboys going to win this game? Y'all know I wouldn't. But if you ask me who got the momentum train and who's the hot team, I got to go with the hot team around this time of the year, like the Vikings. A good one, Jamar. Packers and Colts. We got 3 good ones, y'all, these last 3 picks. Packers and Colts. Who you got?
All right. All right, here's the thing. Devontae Adams, I don't know if he's a go. He's questionable. He had an ankle injury. Because if he doesn't play, that makes things tough on Aaron Rodgers to get it done. I want to pick the Packers. I really do. My heart says Colts. My brain says Packers. I am going to take the cheese hits with a grain of salt here. This is tough, especially if Adams don't play. That's really tough. I can see the Colts winning, but I feel like because of Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers alone, he makes that team that much better. So I'm taking the Packers in a close one.
Who you got?
A tough pick. Colts have a pretty good defense. Colts have a very good defense.
They do.
Yeah, depending on Devontae plays, that'll be tough, I'll go. Surprising pick. I'll go with the Colts. Get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. They should be all right.
Yeah, I think defense travels. Although the Colts are at home, Packers are a really good team. They are a great team. Yeah. This will be a heavyweight fight, y'all. This will be like a Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson type bout. This will be a heavyweight fight. But I like the Colts. I like the hot team right now. Packers are hot. They struggled with the Jaguars last week. Not saying if NFL, any given Sunday, right? But Colts, man, I like the way their running game is going. I like the way they are getting the ball out. Phillip Rivers. I like the way their defense is playing. The Packers are going to come into a reality check. I'm gonna realize just how real this team is. So I got the Colts at home. Very good message to the Packers and everybody else in the NFL.
Man,
Yeah,
for my Bears bias, I hope both of y'all are right.
man, let's see. Chiefs and Raiders. Raiders, y'all, the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know if y'all know they got 6-3. Yeah, pretty good team. So curious, Jamal, who you got? Chiefs or Raiders?
So the Chiefs' only loss is against that John Gruden led football team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they caught them slipping that week. They just kept hitting haymaker after haymaker. I expect the Chiefs to win this game and make a statement here to let them know that we are King Kong of this division
Right.
and of the NFL since they're the reigning Super Bowl champs. I expect them to come in and handle business. I expect Mahomes to have a great game.
Gonna be motivated for sure. Yeah. I'm gonna go on really quickly, and I got the Chiefs come back for vengeance. They want that vengeance. They're gonna come back really hungry, really. They don't want to lose to this Raiders team twice and give them the thought that hey, we're on your level. I think the Chiefs want to see. Who you got, Ian?
Chiefs in a blowout. I think they want their revenge back. Like you said, that's their only loss this year.
You got
indoor,
the Chiefs sending a big message tomorrow. A blowout.
Yeah. Indoor game. Them receivers and that offense on the fast track. No weather permitting, so I think it's gonna be a blowout.
All right. Yeah. A lot of eyes on that tomorrow night, Sunday night too. Rams and Bucks, another good one. Monday night. What a Monday night game that'll be. Who you got?
And I was talking about this matchup at work yesterday. Sheesh. This is gonna be a good one, man. A really good one. I'm gonna take the more talented team in this one, which would be the Buccaneers at home. I feel like the more that they all play together, the better they're gonna get with this new dynamic in their offense. I know their defense hasn't played up to the level that we saw early on, but I feel like they definitely gonna be they want to get after Jared Goff. They're gonna want to kill that guy. So I'm taking the Buccaneers, and I think they win by 10 points at least.
By 10.
Yep.
Wow.
I said it.
All right. Yeah. Ken, who you got?
Surprisingly, I got the Rams. The defense been playing good, which is crazy. Leonard Floyd, he has like 7 or 8 sacks. He had 3 sacks last week, so he got like 7 or 8 sacks on the season. He's been playing they've been playing phenomenal. I wish we would have got that production out of him.
It never fails.
Yeah, so it's gonna be hard to block Aaron Donald. I know, Tom Brady is Tom Brady, but he can't move. So they don't establish a running game. I can see the Rams taking this by at least 10 points.
And you sound like a smart man because I'm rolling with you, man. I like the Rams. One thing about Tom Brady, especially his career and this Bucs team in general, is that they struggle against great defense. Look at that 3 losses. It's been against great defense. So I like the Buccaneers to come out, get a nice little start, things of that nature. But I think at the end of the day, the Rams will settle down. Their defense will settle down, and they'll force some mistakes out of this Bucs team. Still getting into chemistry with AB and those guys. Bucs have weapons, but they struggle against great defenses, and I think the Rams have a great defense. And as we know, y'all, defense travels. So for that reason, I like the Rams to go way across the country to Tampa and pull out an upset Monday night. So with that being said, that concludes our picks for the NFL Week 11. And fellas, that concludes our conversation of analysis for the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Just curious, fellas, before we get out of here for this morning, um, any final thoughts, Jamar? Any final thoughts, and any final thoughts as we head into the weekend?
Um, I guess we officially in the holiday season. I know COVID is going to prevent a lot of Black Friday experiences and stuff like that, and holiday shopping, but just enjoy time with your family, be safe, all that good things. Just trying to make it out of 2020 alive, just
True,
do as much as you can on that front.
true, true. Yes, sir. Ian, any final thoughts, man?
Yeah, pretty much the same. The holidays coming up, both holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Just try to be safe. Yeah, just enjoy every moment with the kids, family. Just try to enjoy every moment.
Yep, I hear y'all, man. World, enjoy Thanksgiving. Even if the Thanksgiving is virtual this year, that's what we're doing. We're unfortunately not going to be around family with this uptick. Um, a lot of people close to me getting this virus. A lot of people close to me fighting for their lives. As you know, Ian from Morgan Park, Jeremiah recently and currently still fighting for his life due to COVID. So,
Montgomery?
no, Jeremiah the singer.
Oh, Jeremiah Singh. Yeah.
And so, like it's a number of things right now that's going on. And so we're gonna play it safe, play it smart. Everybody be safe this holiday. Enjoy it with the family. Um, you know, and just do what you can to be smart. Um, other than that, man, y'all put the guns down, keep God first, and everything else take care of itself. Thank you all for tuning in to the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, and may you all have a blessed, productive day in the Lord. Peace.
Peace.
Deuces.